Hi, it's Katie Lebeds from Learning to Lean, a day in the life of a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt. Today, I want to talk to you about the DMAIC process, or DMAIC. We use the DMAIC process in Lean and Six Sigma to fix a process that is broken. So, to solve a problem. A DMAIC project is generally a larger scale project, one in general that can be completed in 3 to 6 months. It's really important, though, when you are scoping out your project, that you are not creating the never ending story, or, like I tell everyone in class, we're not trying to boil the ocean. So, we use a DMAIC to fix a broken process. So let's walk through the slide and let's look at each step in the DMAIC process. So in the define phase, which DMAIC stands for define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. In the define phase, we understand what problem we are trying to solve. So this is where our project charter comes into play, our measurable problem statement, our baseline data. We really need to understand that and make sure that we understand the scope of the problem we're trying to solve. We look at key metrics, we understand who our stakeholders are, we gather the voice of the customer. Now, sometimes the voice of the customer is an internal voice, and sometimes it is an external voice, or sometimes it could be both. But we need to make sure we understand the voice of the customer. And that can look different depending on the industry that you're in. So that can look like calls or surveys or focus groups or going and talking to people in person. It all just depends on your customers. In the define phase, we also will be talking about waste identification. Again, value. So value is defined by the customer, and looking at team dynamics too, and PDCA, or Plan, Do, Check, Act. So define, we understand the problem we're trying to solve. In the measure phase, we gather all of our data. So we may have had a little bit of data in the define phase, but in the measure phase is really where we gather additional data, or the data that we are going to use in order to reach root cause and to be able to use for our future state. So in the measure phase, we're going to gather data from different systems. They could be Pareto charts or histograms or scatter plots, capability studies, benchmarking data. So now with the use of AI, we can get really good benchmarking data through one of your AI agents. We could be doing a spaghetti diagram and talking about cost of poor quality. In the analyze phase, we start making sense of everything. So in analyze, things start to come together. And this is where we understand root cause analysis. We are talking about things like experiments or hypothesis testing. We're doing brainstorming, so we could use a mind map, an Ishikawa diagram or fishbone diagram, or an affinity diagram to come up with our future state. So in Analyze, we're making sense of all of our data, we're understanding or getting to root cause, and we are creating our future state value stream map. So between define and measure, we have created our current state, and in Analyze, we create our future state or our plan for what we want this to look like in the future. In the improve phase, this is where we actually get to do something. This is where everyone wants to run to. In the improve phase, this is where we execute our plan, or we execute that future state map. We can use concepts like design of experiments or Kanban, point of view storage. We could be looking at SMED, or single minute exchange of die. We should be looking at flow. Maybe we use the concepts of 5S or 6S in visual management to help solve our problems, or Judoka or Haijunka or just in time. So there's all these cool tools and concepts that we can use in the improve phase to permanently fix our problem. Now, once we've executed on that, some people are like, we're done, right? No, we're not done yet. We need to go to the control phase, which is the final letter in the DMAIC process. So in the control phase, first of all, this could last a week, or it could last months. It depends on how much or how fast you can gather data. Now, if you're making system changes to your systems, you can sometimes be able to see those system changes done right away and be able to gather your data to basically prove that your change worked. Sometimes, though, we have processes that don't get run every day or don't get run every week, or maybe they're only run once a quarter or maybe even once a year. So you may stay in that control phase for an extended period of time, depending on that problem you're trying to solve. But the control phase is really the phase in which we are verifying that we have gotten to root cause, the problem has gone away, and our new future state has stuck, and that people are really utilizing the new process moving forward. So we are going to also do a lessons learned in the control phase. So a reflection or a Hanse, where we are coming together as a group and we are looking at what did we do well, what could we improve, what do we wish we knew at the beginning of the project that we know now, or one of my favorite tools is to do start, stop, and continue. And we shouldn't forget about recognition. That should happen in the control phase also. So recognizing our team members, by the way, in the way they wish to be recognized, to say thanks for doing a good job. And I think that is definitely one thing that is missing from a lot of company cultures right now is the recognition part. So I've worked with a wide variety of companies, and you really need to gather the voice of the customer or the people that are doing the project and really understand what's going to be meaningful for them. If you would like to learn more about the DMAIC process, when we use it, how to do a Kaizen event, or how to do a project, or anything else that we can help you do to realize revolutionary results within your organization, please contact us today. Thanks and have a great day.